What's going on? Born for Sports, the OG Nick fan show. I got my boys back with me. My guys T, Ray, back from the new
So
year. Happy New Year to everybody out there, all Nick Nation, all NBA fans. And we are here to talk about this latest Nick game. And it was a tough loss, but a real good game. They lost tonight to the OKC Thunder in a battle of the two hottest teams in the league this year so far right now. Knicks winners of 9 in a row. OKC winners of 14 in a row. 13 coming in. One of the best records in the league, if not probably the best team right now in the league in Oklahoma. It was a battle. A nice test for the Knicks, but they came up short. What's y'all feelings on it? 117, 107. A lot of things happened in this game that we're gonna get into. But I felt like, honestly, fellas, I felt like we controlled most of this game. And in the fourth quarter, it just got away from us. It just got away from us. OKC put the clamps on with defensively, and the Knicks just couldn't get over that hump.
oh yeah, most definitely. Like you said, we controlled most of the game. There was a lot of positives, by far, whatever. And just when that fourth quarter came, the Thunder they were able to turn it up a notch, and they defense really clamped all five starters. But if you really look at you're looking at the stat sheet, we got outscored by the bench, 44-5. You're not gonna win ball games with that.
Definitely
Not
not.
at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So
You're right. Knicks
you
bench
know,
outscored 44-5. That was the big key in
that
this
was
game.
the one. That was the one. I liked a lot with this game. We was aggressive, you know, for the most part, we curb our turnovers, but when that fourth quarter game, all five starters was gassed. If you, I was reading something that all five of our starters played more than 40 minutes tonight. So when you go against elite teams like that, it's going to catch up to you. So I really hope, before trade deadline, I've been I've been saying this all season. I feel like we need to get a scoring threat off the bench.
Yeah. Yep.
Somebody's going to give us. Somebody's going to be an instant bucket. Somebody who's gonna, somebody who's really gonna take off, some of the load off the starters. So,
Right.
February 6th is coming, it's approaching. I really hope, we're able to pull a trade. But once again, I'm not going crazy about this loss. It was a good game. It was a good game. And, the better team came up top. I ain't tripping about it.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm definitely tripping about this game. I mean, I'm like you said, we played like great basketball from the first quarter, second quarter,
Right.
up into the third quarter.
We were right there.
We were right there up until the fourth quarter when they had, I think, when Shamit came in or Payne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and once Brunson was Payne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once Shamit went to once they started playing and Brunson went to the bench, that's when I knew it. Now, matter of fact, OG went to the bench as well too. So that's when I was like, all right, bet. All right, let's see what what the reserves can do. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And they couldn't hold to the lead. And that was that. And Wiggins went off, and then the other Jalen Williams, he stepped up his defense in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the fourth quarter, because Shea went to the bench. And he just took over.
Right.
He got a couple of steals. He shot, I think, like 1 or 2 threes, and he took it to the basket. So that right there was like, that was the momentum. He went with that momentum right there. You know what I'm saying? That killed our momentum. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, no doubt about it.
You had Wiggins. Wiggins is going off. How many threes he hit?
Yep. And we're sharing a brain on that, T. Like at the end of the day, I thought that as we mentioned, as Ray mentioned in the beginning off the rip, 44-5 bench scoring was the biggest difference in this game. And in that fourth quarter, Wiggins out of nowhere, 15-19 in the fourth quarter and hit big shot. It just seemed like big shot after big shot after big three. Every time, we about to get the lead back, he would hit a big three. Or they'll pull up on a shot, miss it, and they'll get the offensive rebound, and then kick it out, and then here goes a big three to hurt the team and really pull away. I think they started pulling away when that happened. Let's get to the chat real quick. Big task at hand check saying, yo, we had them, man. Yeah, we did, man. We had them tonight, but hey, you got to give them credit. They made the plays. Knicks have to learn from this, and I'm sure they will. Also, we cannot discount that Deuce didn't play tonight. That was another thing about our bench that hurt. But 44-5 is a big discrepancy, man. Even if Deuce would have played, it still is a big advantage. And let's be honest, OKC, man, they're a deep team, man. They're a deep team. They're a good, young, deep, athletic team. That is their calling card, defense. And, it really showed tonight because their bench, basically, their depth outlasted our team tonight because, hey, they had a back-to-back. They were coming off a back-to-back, okay? And as you said, as T said, the Knicks really controlled this game, I thought, most of this game. I mean, they were up 10, 12. Their largest lead team, but it was kind of back and forth. They'll make a run, get within 4. We'll knock it back up to 10, 12, 14. It was one of those. And then in the fourth quarter, they just couldn't hold on to it, man. They just couldn't hold on to it. And that bench scoring is going to be a factor. We're going to have to make a move at that deadline. I would assume the Knicks will be looking.
Listen, man, this guy Wiggins went crazy in the fourth quarter. This guy,
big shots, man.
He scored 15 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was the game right there.
That was the game,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, if he didn't score, even if he scored half
right,
we still would have been in the game. But that's just a growing testament to with OKC and their depth. You know what I'm saying?
They're a great team, by far a great team.
Best team the Knicks have played all year. No doubt about it. And they've had some good wins, guys. Like, I don't want to hear people out there try to, you got fat on the schedule. No, the Knicks did what they were supposed to do. The good teams beat the teams that were on that schedule because if they would have lost those games, everybody would have been killing them. So don't kill them when they win those games. They've had quality wins this year against Denver in Denver. They smacked around Denver that night. They beat Minnesota in Minnesota. They're starting to get their stuff. They're up and down with it, but they're still nevertheless a playoff team. The Knicks had gotten a couple of wins, but they can only play what's on their schedule. And this was the best team they played, and I thought they showed that they belong. They belong. Yeah. They just couldn't get over the hump tonight and against a really good team in their building. And we're going to see them next week at the Garden, so hopefully we'll get a better result next week. But, hey, give OKC credit, man.
Definitely. Once again, they're the number one defensive team in the league,
right.
and in the fourth quarter it really showed. But I got to give it to Gilgeous Alexander. The guy's a stud. Listen, man, he was balling out. I believe he had 33 points tonight.
Yep.
12 for 26 shooting, and his Robin, Jalen Williams.
Jalen Williams, man, he's a good player.
He's another one. He's a good player.
Good player.
So
be an all-star,
man. Definitely an all-star. And OKC, I definitely took my hat off. They was the better team. They came up top. They did what they had to do. They made the right adjustments, definitely in the fourth quarter. And they ran off with this one. So good game overall.
Yep. OKC definitely passes the eye test. If people haven't watched OKC this year, I have, you guys have, of course. They passed the eye test that they are one of the best teams in the league that are definitely capable of winning an NBA title this year if they get their opportunity. Okay. So I don't think there's anything the Knicks have to hang their head on tonight. You just got to learn from it. That's all. Just got to learn from it. They're a good team. These are tests that they need to go through because
Right.
I believe the Knicks are in that group of contenders. So, hey, contenders are gonna beat you, but now you got to show you can beat them. And the next time they get a chance at the Garden next week, they'll have their opportunity. Let's go to the chat. Rolling Chestnut, what's goody? This Knicks team will not make it to Eastern Conference Finals with this team. There is something missing from this team, and if Leon Rose doesn't find it, the Knicks will be just an average team. Well, I disagree wholeheartedly on that point. I understand what you're saying. What I do agree with is they need to find – I think Leon Rose needs to find a scorer off the bench at the trade deadline, maybe even another big because, honestly, I don't trust Mitch's health. But when Mitch is healthy, he can fill the role we need for that role. So my main concern right now would probably be the scorer off the bench. We need to address that. That's what's missing. And when you make a trade like that for Towns, they gave up some depth. You know what I'm saying? And you still got to make that trade, but there's not going to be a perfect team after a trade like that. If it was so late. You know what I mean? So late in training camp, starting and all of that. Free agency already passed. I'm pretty sure Leon Rose will find something if their opportunity is there. But I'm not on that train rolling. I think you need to slow down a little bit. React. It's reactionary. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It kind of sucked that we lost this game, but I think the Knicks have showed that they have the goods. They're not a perfect team, though. And will they win the NBA title this year? I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, nothing is for certain, but I don't think they're an average team. That I can't get with that, brother. I think they're a top 4 or 5 team in the league and definitely contenders, bro. Definitely contenders, man. I just think, we a little reactionary tonight. This is a safe space, baby. Let it out.
How can we be an average team when we got arguably one of the 2 top players in the game right now?
Facts.
They're going to the All-Star game.
Facts. 2 All-NBA players. Best starting 5 in the league right now. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, look at Towns. Towns is the best center in the East. I mean, people want to say Embiid, he's making his way back from injury, and he's not even playing like that. So
right.
Towns is playing, and he's the best center in the East right now. You know what I'm saying? And even Jalen. I mean, Jalen's like the best point guard in the East.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can make absolutely, T. And as T is saying,
over LaMelo, like, are you kidding me?
Get that out of here. That's just this. See, this is why I hate All-Star voting, because it's just a popularity contest, man. It just is. Like, there is LaMelo Ball is there because fans are stuffing the ballot because Charlotte people in Charlotte don't got nothing else better to do. What do they got to do?
But he got the thing about it is he got the younger generation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. They like his whole swag and all of that. Yeah.
Hey George, you mind we could go back to that previous comment from Rowan?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right. This Knicks team would not make it to the Eastern Conference Finals with this team. There's something missing from this team, and if Leon Rose doesn't find it, the Knicks will just be an average team. I strongly disagree. Wholeheartedly off the fact that you just compared the Knicks and calling them average and whatnot. Once again, I feel like this team haven't reached a ceiling yet, and it's kind of crazy how we was able to sustain what's our record? A 24-11 with a fairly brand new team.
Yep.
We needed a game like this to spot our weakness, and obviously you can clearly see we need bench scoring, right? So Roland, let's not go crazy on this. If it's just one of those nights, let it just be that. This team will be fine. I think the only thing that we need is we definitely need I would like some toughness added to the team. Um, you know, definitely with the front line for sure. Uh, I believe when Mitch come back, he would add to that element. But once again, I'd rather, and I hate to say this, I love Mitch. I love Mitch, but the health just been, it haven't
You
been,
can't depend on it.
just, yeah, it's just very unreliable. So if he becomes trade bait, I really hope we get something solid in return.
Yep.
My only thing is if we could get some toughness and um a scoring threat off the bench, this team will be fine because games like this, we need our starters to conserve some type of energy,
Yeah.
but somebody to come off the bench and, keep the foot on the opponent's neck.
Yeah, it just can't be
But
deuce, man. It just can't be deuce. It has to be a
yeah,
collective
it's
thing.
Landry, he's still coming back. He's still getting into game shape.
Yeah.
I felt like he would be very helpful. But he's a new guy. We still feeling him out. Pause.
Yeah.
So once we get him involved and we know his game, I think we will see better production, from what he's given us so far. So once again, it's still early in the season. Let's see. Let's get back to this sometime in March, after the
Yeah.
deadline and after the
Right.
All-Star, and see where we stand. Right now at 24-11, you saying that we are average team? Yeah, it's a little too much, man.
Yeah, I can't flow with that. Average is not what the Knicks are. You can't be in it. First of all, the Knicks are, as Eric checks in, what's good? Them boys legit, no shame in it. Great test. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also Blaze checks in with the laughing emojis. Hashtag calm down. Roland, you got to bring it down, baby. It's just one loss. We're going to be all right, brother. We're going to be all right.
Crazy right now. I don't even want to look at Knicks Twitter. Just look at the teams they lost to. Cleveland, Boston. Okay, you know what? Just look at the three teams that they lost to. Cleveland, Boston. Okay, Boston, we lost on the first night. So, whatever.
That was the first game of the year. We didn't even
Come on.
Come on.
And Cleveland. Okay, I'll give you Cleveland.
Cleveland was a tough one, but it's not like they went in and beat us down. We lost. We just lost the game. I mean,
yeah. It was still a close game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
early in the game at that.
Yeah, it was still early in the season. We only played them once, right?
Yeah, just one time.
Yeah,
it was at the Garden.
Yeah. So
and it was early. It was early, and they were figuring stuff out. What was that, like game 9 or something? 8-9 in this season. Like, I mean,
y'all talking about Cleveland?
Yeah. Let's calm down.
About the three teams that we lost to.
And what's crazy? We could have won that game.
Exactly.
Yeah, so could have.
Yeah.
We were winning in that game. Like the fourth quarter, and they couldn't finish them. That's what it is. That was like the early season issue.
We definitely beat ourselves that game. I remember.
Yeah, the early season issues with the Knicks were, they weren't finishing teams in the fourth quarter, and that came because of the chemistry they were building. They were still early in the process. So, context is everything, Roland. The Knicks will be fine. But go ahead, finish your point, T.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, like with the Cleveland game, I mean, Darius Garland he just had like one of those unbelievable games. Like, I mean, we pretty much was in the game like throughout the whole game.
Right. Right.
Wait, hold on. Did we come back? I'm not really sure.
Well, the thing was, we were winning in the fourth quarter. It was like a back and forth thing, but for the most part, the Knicks were it was kind of like this game in a sense. Like they were kind of in control of that game. It was kind of that 6-0 run. Okay, we up 6, then they go up 8, and that type of stuff. But for the most part, the Knicks were ahead in that Cleveland game. And in the fourth quarter, they just couldn't finish them. Garland got hot, it just couldn't finish him. I think Brunson probably was off a little or something. I don't remember like everything about that game.
This was when
Garland did go off that game. Yes.
Yeah, Mitchell didn't even shoot that well that game.
No.
Nah. And once again, like Brunson had a slow start to the season, so he was missing, the shots that he would usually make.
Right. I mean, you know,
So I mean, like once again, Roland. I'm just now reading your comment. Cleveland, Boston, OKC. You got to think about this, right? Those teams that you just listed, it's pretty much the same team from last season and the season before. Once again, this is a whole new starting five that we had.
talk
And
about
you know, once like those teams that you just listed, they know their sets. Everybody knows everybody. It really wasn't a much of a change with those teams. So
it. No,
Knicks, this is a brand new team, and the fact that we're playing good at this time of the year, it's only gonna get better from here. I don't
Yeah,
see it being bad. Like this is not a bad product that Leon Rose, put out there.
yeah.
So yeah, man. Like, listen,
And
man. It's
as
it's
far as
it's a
that game with Cleveland, I've just looked up the stats from that game. It was
yeah,
Garland. He had 34 that game. So, and we lost
it's
110, 104. Like, Roland, we'll
yeah,
be fine, guy. We'll be fine, my brother.
you got to think about it once again. I gotta let it be known when Mitch comes back. I'm telling you right now, y'all gonna see a whole different Knicks team. What
Yep.
he brings to the team alone,
Mhm.
y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see.
Just keep that dude healthy. That's
That's
the
it.
main objective.
yeah,
Keep him healthy.
That's
Keep him
it.
healthy.
yeah. We just won.
Also, what you said, T?
He said we just won 9 in a row. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah,
true.
and yeah. It's reactionary night. Listen, we all wanted this game, but we just got to keep things in perspective. I guess Roland feels
Listen,
like we need
man.
to get more
The the
wins
Knicks, the
against better
Knicks,
teams, I
the
guess, or whatever.
the Knicks that we know would have blown a lot of those games against shitty
Yeah,
ass teams,
yep,
So
yep.
just be appreciative that we're beating the teams that we're supposed to beat, you
Exactly,
know.
because if the Knicks lose these games, what are we talking about? What's the narrative? Hey,
Exactly.
we're not as good as we think we are. You got to win against these teams. The good teams beat those teams. Well, guess what? They beat those teams. Simple.
Yep.
That's
So
it.
now you took a tough loss on the road against a really really good team. Okay, against a title contender. Let's talk about that. Against a title contender in their building, a game where you could have won. Hey, you get back off the horse and you start another streak. And when you see them down the road again, you take them out. That's it. We'll see them at the Garden next week, Friday. And if we win that game, will that be okay, Roland? Just saying. Your whole demeanor will change. So let's just let it play out, my brother. Hey, 24-11, third in the conference. We'll get there. We'll
Yeah,
get
That's
there.
it.
yeah.
You
We'll
know
be
what I'm
fine.
saying? Also, Eric checks in and says Cat elevated himself into elite convo. Yes, he has. And as T has said earlier in the program here, he is the best center in the Eastern Conference. Okay. And in my opinion, the best center not named Jokic right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would you rather, based on what we've seen, who would you rather have? Have the conversation right now. Jokic or Cat? Okay, you're gonna take Jokic most likely because he's an MVP. Fine, that's cool. I'll take Cat, but you know what I'm saying, or Jokic. I got to give Jokic the edge because of his body of work. Okay. Now next, who you got? Are you taking Embiid over him? I'm not. I'm not. I'm sorry. Embiid's always hurt. You see what's going on in the locker room out there for the last few weeks, all the stuff going on over there, even though they're starting to play better. But you see the stuff that goes on. His injury history, Embiid, when he's on the court, is a great player. But when he's on the court, I'm sorry. I'm taking Cat. He's younger and he's not as injury prone. Hey, who else? Who else you telling? Porzingis? He's good. I'm taking Cat. Okay, I'm taking Cat over Porzingis. Cat is an all NBA player. Hey, listen. Let's give Cat credit. Let's give this Knick team more credit than when some of you guys are doing. They'll be fine, man. They will be fine, and they're going to be a problem in this league when they get it together. Best offense I've ever seen the Knicks have, offensive team I've ever seen them come out with. They probably have the best starting five in the league right now, and that's not even with the chemistry even cooked yet. Let's see. Let's see where it go. Also, Oiler Import. What's up? Thanks for checking in, man. They lose for not passing the ball to Towns in the fourth quarter. I do think we should have featured Towns a little more in the fourth quarter. I will agree on that certain point of it. But I think we mostly lost tonight was because OKC's bench was just, they were lights out tonight. And especially in that fourth quarter. You got to give that team credit, man. They made the shots. They got the loose balls. They made every play down the stretch in the fourth quarter they needed to make. And a lot of it was when SGA was on the bench, resting. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, you got to give that team credit. That's how they play. That's how they win their games. They do it just like what you saw tonight. This is not just an out of a blue thing. Okay? That's what they do. Now, Wiggins doing what he did was kind of out of the blue, but that's kind of how they've been doing it, man. One guy steps up one night, another bench guy. That's what they do. They're a really good team. They just are. They just are. Oiler also says they have to pass the ball to the best player, Towns, in the fourth quarter. Listen, I would say Brunson was off tonight for the most part. He did start to get going in the fourth quarter. He did make some shots, some in the fourth quarter, but had a couple of turnovers and stuff like that. But Brunson was a little off tonight. But give OKC credit on that as well. Their defense, their lane bothered Brunson today. It did.
Yeah, their defense didn't give us enough time to really set up our half court sets. So. Who to know if we had a play for Cat, Once again, I just gotta tip my hat off to their defense. They did what they had to do, They sent the double at the half court and it forced turnovers, consecutive turnovers at that.
Right.
And we could have overcome that because at the same time, guys was gassed. So there's a lot that we definitely got to tweak moving forward. But once again, what really stands out, 44-5 bench score.
44-5. That's a big gap, man.
Yeah.
See what you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, what you said, Ray?
Yeah, my bad. T. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, pretty much what Ray been saying, what y'all been saying, like with the bench, 44-5 is just like that's
You're not gonna run a game with that. You're not gonna run a game with that.
Yeah,
nope.
Definitely. Like you said, Deuce was missing tonight. Hopefully, I don't want to. The thing about it is that who we going to trade for? You get what I'm saying? We would have to give up a lot to get a lot. You get what I'm saying? Or to get somebody, that's
good point.
We have to. Who do we have? I mean, just look at the deals. Just look at the contracts that these guys are on.
I think Knicks are going to be looking at that buyout market.
Yeah, so Campaign is like on a 1-year deal, right? Sherman is like on a 2-way deal.
Yep.
Who else? I mean, you're going to trade. I mean, the only people that would probably trade, that would trade would be, Deuce, Mitch, and Precious. They make money. So
I'm not to cut you off, T. We do have a lot of players on expiring deals, so that would be attractive to a team that's trying to dish out salary. So we just got to see. I do think we're probably gonna get somebody off the buyout market. So we just got to keep our eye open. We just got to keep our eye open to that. But there's some candidates that I feel like the Knicks should target. If you want to know my personal candidates,
put them out there, Ray. Who you think you looking at?
I'm looking at two guys right now. I would want Valanciunas. He's actually
Valanciunas.
Okay. He's at the top of the list for me.
He would make a lot of sense for this.
He's gonna go out there. He's gonna grab boards. He's gonna score. He's just that type of player. As far as somebody who's a scoring threat, and I feel like if he was to come to the scene, I feel like he would turn up. And that person was somebody who we played last game. It's Jordan Clarkson. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
He was definitely auditioning the other night.
he was auditioning. He was auditioning. He was all like, "Yo, screw this team. I'm about to show, this team that's, that was interested in me. I'm about to bowl out. I'm about to show
He
them."
was like, Danny, get me out of here, Danny. Get me out.
That's it. So, as of right now, that's my wish list. Those two players right now.
Yeah. And that would, and they would make a lot of sense because of the role they could actually fit. Their roles would really help the Knicks, in the sense of what we need in particular.
Right.
I think Clarkson is going to be a little tougher, I think, to get than Valanciunas because it's like, am I correct on this? I have to double check, so don't quote me on this. I'm kind of,
to be honest with you,
I don't know who makes more money, Clarkson or Valanciunas.
If you look at Mitch and Valanciunas' contract, it matches. That could be an even swap.
What about Clarkson? Is what I mean. Like between the two,
I'm looking at it right now. He makes about $14 million.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which ain't bad. You get what I'm saying?
It's
like
not bad. Yeah.
On a 2-year, $28 million deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So now he's on. This is the first year of that deal. It's about a little bit over $14 million, right? And then the second year is 14.2.
Right.
Okay, makes sense. So how about we get Clarkson now, and then we trade that contract to Minnesota after the season and get Devo back.
That'll be a solid play.
But all seriousness, that I like that. That does make sense.
I think the Mitch and Valanciunas swap is more realistic.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I can see that happening. I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Honestly. I'm doing it because I think you could rely on Valanciunas' health wise more than Mitch at this point, and that's and it's a shame because Mitch defensively is definitely what the Knicks need on this team and rebound wise, but it's just you can't depend on him. It's just tough. It's tough, man. Go ahead, T.
Yeah, just looking at the contracts that that we have here, like if we want to get Jordan Clarkson, we're gonna have to give up a lot. Just look at the bench.
It's $14 million.
Yes. Even like Precious makes. I think he signed. Hold on, Precious is like at what? He's at.
I think he's $6 million, I believe.
Yeah, he's at $6 million. You get what I'm saying?
I'm not trading Precious. Honestly, I'm not.
So and then what we have like a bunch of second-round picks. So it doesn't even. Yeah. So we're just gonna have to stick with the guys we have. Guys got to step it up. Like Cam is gonna have to step it up. Cam is going to step it up. Deuce is gonna have to step it up. Even if you want to go dig deeper, like see if we can get out of Huck Porty. You get what I'm saying? He's there. We signed him to Cam.
Send him out.
Yeah. That's a fact.
I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised Jericho didn't see like at least 5 or 6 minutes. You get what I'm saying? But
right.
You get what I'm saying? But we're gonna have to give up. Like if we want like a scoring threat, like off the bench, like you said, with Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah.
None of our bench plays make enough amount of money to match it. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, our best asset is Mitch. You know what I'm saying? So who are we going to trade Mitch for? Are we going to trade Mitch for Clarkson? So if we do trade Mitch for Clarkson, that means Porty's going to have to step into that Mitch spot. You get what I'm saying? Like we're going to have to play. We're going to have to pay.
Gotta give him burn.
Hey, why not?
Gotta give him burn. Why not?
Hey, it's worth the trade, I believe, because Mitch is unreliable, So hey, if there's an opportunity there, I think you're just gonna have to pursue it. You're just gonna have to. Blaze also checks in. AMAC says the best ability is availability. Mitch is only as good as the games he's able to play at the top level. Right on point with that. Also, Eric says it's not even the All-Star break, LOL. To reference to Roland. also says, and B got a loser ass mentality. Fuck out of here with him. Damn right, he does. There's something going on there, and like I said, you know, you talk about availability. That's his availability is worse than Mitch because he's relied so much for more as a superstar. He's the most unreliable superstar in the league. So yes, I'm taking Cat over him all day. I'm sorry, I am. The Cat and Cat's younger. You know, I'm doing it.
Kawhi is the most unreliable.
Oh yeah, he's number one.
He's definitely number one.
Yep.
And it's funny because they just reported that he's gonna play tomorrow.
Word.
Yep, he's gonna make his season debut tomorrow. Kawhi.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
he's back for the holidays, huh? He'll be done in another week and a half. Give him 10 days. Give him 10 days. 10 days tops. It'll and then it'll be out for the season. It'll be like a 10-day contract. Literally.
That'll be
also,
crazy.
A 10-day, $100 million contract.
You know what I'm saying? On 10-day for $100 million. Easy. He's gonna get an easy bag.
For real.
Boy, what a disaster. What a disaster, bro. Oh man. He also says Cat behind Jokic and Giannis if we consider him as a center. Yeah, you know, listen, I don't consider Giannis as a center. I don't. I know I know Doc kind of uses him every now and then at the 5. You know how the small ball stuff go, but no, I don't consider him that. I consider him a 4 or 3. But you know, the versatility because of the greatness of Giannis. But at the end of the day, hey, give me Cat over every center in the league right now. I'm sorry, besides Jokic. Hey, but I'll give Jokic his respect. He's an MVP. I won't do that. But everyone else, I'm taking our guy. I just am. All NBA player, about to be in the All-Star game, it looks like. Hey, what a trade that was for the Knicks. This trade might go down as the best trade the Knicks have made in franchise history before this is all said and done. It's going to be up there. I'm not saying it's going to be the best, but it's going to be talked about if the trajectory holds true to what's going on.
Most definitely.
Yeah, so, so real quick, before we wrap up tonight, Brunson, 22 points, 9 assists. Towns had 17 points, 22 rebounds. Our stars didn't really have the monster games tonight. Like I said, give OKC credit. They did a good job. I also thought the refs were kind of shaky with the way they would defend, letting the defense be on Towns and not allowing Towns. It's just one of those things. They're working with him. They said it on the telecast. They're working with him on this foul trouble stuff. I just think tonight it was just one of those nights where they just didn't have it. Brunson was off for most of the game. He got going a little bit in the fourth quarter, made some clutch shots, but for the most part, not a typical game from the captain. But he did have 9 assists. Okay, right. Still continuing to be top 10 in assists in the league, where everyone, those naysayers about how he's not a point guy, he don't share the ball. Well, the man is top 10 in the league in assists. Okay, we can cut all that out. He's just figuring this stuff out, and he's having a really good season. He's showing that his game is growing for the team benefit. But tonight just wasn't his night. Little off. And I always pick up a habit with Brunson, and when he gets a couple of extra days off, he kind of sometimes just doesn't have his jump shot right away like that in the next game he plays. That's been kind of a pattern, but tonight you give OKC credit, man. Their defense is good. They're number 1 in the league for a reason, man.
Definitely.
And yeah, go ahead, brother.
I just hope, we got the Bulls tomorrow. This is a back-to-back. Yeah. So starters playing, 40-plus minutes, on our bench. And I don't think anybody went over 10 minutes.
The bench got to step up tomorrow, man.
Bridges 40 minutes, Brunson 40 minutes, 42 minutes for OG, 44 for Hart, 42 for Towns. And a lot of that is because our bench just wasn't getting it done, man. That wasn't getting it done. Like Shamet, he only took 2 shots, played 14 minutes. He played the most minutes off the bench.
He played the most minutes? Okay.
Yeah, he played the most minutes off the bench tonight. Chua had 7 minutes. Playing 7 minutes, but was a non-factor tonight. You know, it's just one of those things. We got to figure this out with the bench, especially if Deuce, you know, this Deuce thing, you know, it's not being talked about enough, but he's dealing with a little bit of a leg issue for most of the season now. So it's going to be worth monitoring. The Knicks are going to probably have to come to a decision. Do we shut him down for a little while to get him right?
Those injuries, man. The hammy, they
linger.
They linger. So, listen, man. Like you said, if it's a thing where we might have to shut him down for like a week or two,
gotta do it.
Might have to do it because you tweaking like it's something that you tweak and you got to sit down. Like
hamstrings are tough, man. Those soft tissue injuries always linger.
Yeah,
and I want him right. You know what I'm saying? I want him right because he's that important to this team for this bench, especially with the lack of depth on the bench scoring wise. We need him right. You know, we need him right. We don't need him doing that.
They were saying the last game he tweaked it during warm-ups. I'm like, during warm-ups?
That's nuts.
That means it hasn't been right the whole time. I mean, if he's tweaking it on a warm-up, I mean, that means this has been something he's been probably playing through, and they're trying to manage it, and it's just like, okay, we're managing it, but sooner or later, something's gonna have to give where I'm gonna have to sit. Well, you know what? I just think we need to sit him, let him rest it, give him, like you said, give him a week off, another 2 weeks. I think they did that early in the season as well. You know, they gave him like a week, and then he came back, and then he went into a stretch of playing and stuff. But they're gonna have to manage this smartly going forward.
Definitely.
They're gonna have to, you know, because he's just his impact is just too important to this team. You know what I'm saying?
Very important. And I must say, I'm extremely concerned. You know.
What's
going on with that?
You may have to pay Kohler.
Yeah,
gonna have to. Gonna have to live with his defensive issues. But you know what? Kolek has got to play. He's got to play. You know what I'm saying? He's got to play because he does contribute. He does make an impact on the game with his distribution, with his facilitating, and he can shoot. So you're just gonna have to pick. Tibbs is gonna have to pick and choose his spots, when to use them against certain lineups, and you're just gonna have to. You know what I'm saying? He's just gonna have to make a decision because you don't want to overwork our guys. You know what I'm saying? You don't just to overcome already a situation where we're missing Deuce. So
So even if you're planning on plugging in Kolek, and he's a defensive liability. If it's got to be a case whereas, you know, when he's on the floor, listen, team defense just have to help him out. You know, it has to be a complete team effort.
Collective, it's got to be collective.
They were just saying, even the past G League games that he was in, a lot of people saying like, yo, he does not belong here. Why is he here? But I understand that you want the guy to get reps and you want him to be busy. But I feel like this is the time, and definitely, you know, with this concerning issue with Deuce, you gotta let him play. Got to give him burn.
Got to.
You know.
Got to. I agree.
And what do you think about? I know this is probably a stretch. You know, being that our bench is kind of thin. What do you think about bringing in TJ Warren? I mean, he's on a. We signed him. I mean, he's in the G League too, right?
Yep. So, he's on our team,
and he's a veteran.
Yeah, right.
And he's a bucket. Like TJ Warren's a bucket.
Hey, you saw what he did in the bubble.
Yeah, he's 6'8". Like he's a big. Like, he's a 6'8". So they may need to, bring him up.
Yeah, they might have to look at that.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Knicks didn't even look into that. Like you said, I would definitely give him a call just to see what he got.
Yeah,
see where he can where he can fill in.
I agree. They might have to take a look at that because we can't keep on just trying to patch it together, especially with Deuce not being in. It's got to be something there.
Yeah.
Blaze also checks in if you bring in Warren, who are you cutting? That's another thing too. That's another thing too, because then we got to make another
back in the G League, right? I mean, we'll cut Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan. Yeah, I
I
forgot he
think
was
we
on the
did it.
team.
Yeah, and then we got him. Then we got him back, right?
We got him back.
Okay, so we can just he'll be the taxi cab service. He just as they say in other sports, just get rid of him and sign him again when it's needed. You know what I'm saying? Like it just is what it is. They got to make tough decisions like that. I'm not going to lose any sleep over Matt Ryan. So hey, if he has to be him, it's got to be him.
Yeah, but we'll see, man.
Yeah. So listen, tough loss tonight, but the Knicks, I believe, showed that they belong. They got to learn from this. We'll see OKC again. We'll see him again. We get him next week at the Garden, so hopefully it'll be a better turnout. Tough one tonight, but I believe the Knicks will learn from it and they'll be fine going forward. They show they can prove. They showed and proved that they can play with the big boys. They just got to finish. That's all. They just got to finish. Now, would I be concerned if they got blown out tonight? Then I'll be concerned a little bit.
Right.
But they didn't. They controlled this game, most of the game, but it got away in the fourth quarter. And you got to give OKC credit for that because that's who they are. And if you don't know that, I don't know what to tell you. Watch some OKC games and you'll see this is who they are. And the Knicks are not the only team they've done that to, especially in their building. They're a really good team. They're a title contender for a reason. So let's see how the Knicks respond to that. They got a game tomorrow night at Chicago, back-to-back. We'll see. Also, let's also keep in mind another thing we didn't bring up, bro. I'm going to bring up before we go. OG Anunoby. We gotta monitor that. He did catch a fall where he felt awkward. Lost his grip on the rim on the dunk.
Yep.
Yeah, he did come back in the game. He did finish the game. That is a good sign. But we know how OG
he can wake up tomorrow morning and that shit burn like a motherfucker. Yeah.
Exactly. So we gotta pay attention to that going forward. Would not be surprised if tomorrow they hold him out. I really would not. Especially like you said, if he wake up, it's a little swelling there. I'm sure he'll get some treatment on the plane, get some treatment tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. But the next game will be tomorrow night at Chicago. Before we go, any last words, my guys?
For tomorrow, my keys for the Knicks is Tibbs, you gotta open the bench tomorrow. Definitely want to open the bench. Let the kids play and let's see how it goes from there. I'm going to assume that they're gonna say OG. So hopefully we can see Kolek and the other guys. But definitely tomorrow the bench gotta show up. You gotta trust the bench. And
absolutely.
We see, we'll see how it goes.
T, any last words before we go?
He just hit the nail in the coffin. Like, Tibbs is going to have to, play that bench, and, see what these guys got. I think it's the perfect game to do it against. That perfect team. You're doing it against the Bulls. They're not even a playoff or playing team. They're going to play, but still, we may need to experiment tomorrow, and give us some of our starters a rest,
Right.
So let's see what they can do.
Tomorrow's definitely a bench game. They need to play Kolek. Tibbs got to lengthen it tomorrow. It's a back-to-back. These guys played over 40 minutes. The starting five played over 40 minutes tonight. Definitely a game they need to do that.
And let's see what Cam Payne can do. See what Cam and Shaman can do. Hopefully, Shaman can have a breakout game tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, this is what we have. This is what we have. So see what we can get the best out of them. This is what they need for. They're professional basketball players. I mean, it's nothing we're gonna get in return for these guys. You get what I'm saying? So
yep. Absolutely agree. So let's see what we do tomorrow night. Knicks again lose tonight, 117-107 Next game tomorrow night at Chicago. Get one more comment in. Last one here. Dennis Police go wild on social tonight. Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. I have not even looked at Twitter not one time since the game was on tonight. I can imagine what they're doing right now. But that's gonna wrap up the show tonight. Before I go, I just want to thank everybody for coming in, tapping in, Knick Nation. Before you go, if you're new to the channel, just ask that you like and subscribe to Born for Sports. I would appreciate that. I talk all sports. Any sport you want to talk about, I talk Knicks. As you can see, the OG Knick Fan Show, big time Knick fans here. My guys Ray, my guys team, and yours truly. New York Giants fan, diehard New York Giants fan, New York Mets fan, diehard fans of all three teams. We talk Yankees. We talk whatever you want to talk about in the world of sports, especially New York sports. All right, that's what I'm going to do it tonight. Knicks Nation, salute, like and subscribe. Born for Sports. Let's go.
Peace.
Salute.